Welcome to Kenect The Dots, a podcast where we unlock the stories that connect each and every one of us. Hosted by me, Zach Day, in partnership with Kenect Nashville. How do you connect?
I wrote this theme song, so I'm just over here singing it. It's just a little bebop for all of us to enjoy.
Copyrights and everything.
Exactly. Hey, don't even try to steal this. Welcome back to Kenect The Dots podcast, y'all. My name is Zach Day. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again. I'm coming to you all the way from Kenect Phoenix in Phoenix, Arizona. Y'all know I'm always, back and forth. Kenect Nashville, Kenect Phoenix, everywhere in between. But today, we're back in Phoenix. It's been a really busy month. I've been all over the place. It's almost Thanksgiving, so we're about to be celebrating the holidays. It's still feels really good here in Phoenix though right now. I'd say the weather is really, really nice. I'm loving it. Let me go ahead and introduce my guest so that we can go ahead and get started talking so I don't have to sit here in silence. I've got my friend Christina Henry here with me today. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Zach.
Thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Thank you for allowing me.
Oh my gosh, anytime. Listen, I love getting to know all the people that live in this building, that work here, that are just in and out of, I see you around on campus, if you will.
Right. This is the ASU campus.
Right. Kind of feels like that sometimes. Feels like a dorm sometimes because I'm always like, hey girl, I'm here in the hallway, at the pool, whatever. But it's always good to get to know the people that you are surrounded by. You know what I mean? So, welcome to Kenect The Dots podcast. What we do on here is just kind of get to know you and let you kind of tell me a little bit about yourself, and then I kind of just, we'll just see how our conversation goes, you know what I mean? So, you did send me a lot of really interesting stuff. Christina was born in New York, grew up in Texas, went to college in Texas. Her life has had a lot of many different twists and turns and super interesting stories. So I'm going to let you go ahead and just introduce yourself a little bit. Tell the listeners who you are, a little bit of the background of Christina.
Sure. So, like Zach said, I was born in New York, respectfully, Brooklyn, New York. We moved to Houston when I was 5 years old. I grew up in Houston. I spent my entire, career, my education was based in Houston from elementary on to college. After I graduated college in 2011, I moved to New York City. I moved back to New York City because I received my degree in communications with emphasis in journalism.
Nice.
And I wanted to be in the big city, the big lights, and I wanted to work for CBS News and all of these great things. I moved to New York with $200 to my name.
Yeah.
Let's just say I spent all of my graduation money before I moved.
Right.
So it was definitely a different transition, being that I grew up more in the suburb community and then moving to this big city. Essentially with, like I said, $200 in my pocket, networked. Landed my first job at CBS News as a CBS Page. I always say that that's an amazing opportunity for recent graduates because it just gets your foot in the door. They don't pay a lot.
Right. Well, what's a page mean? What does that mean?
It's almost like an internship, but it's a paid internship for postgraduates. Okay. Essentially. So
but it's not paying much. It's not really.
I was getting paid $9.50.
How did you do it? How did you survive?
Tuna fish and Ritz crackers.
Right.
That's how I survived.
Did you have a roommate?
I did not. I was living in New Jersey, then I moved to Brooklyn, and then I did move to the Bronx where there was a woman renting out a room.
Wow.
And I believe I was paying $600 a month.
Wow.
So I was doing that, commuting back and forth from the Bronx, and let's just say it wasn't the best part of the Bronx.
Yeah.
it was the J-Lo 6 line, okay?
But see, that's how you were dedicated. You were like, I want this.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do what I have to do.
Yes. I was super focused, super determined, super ambitious, and I was just, I'm here and I have to do what I have to do in order to make it. So throughout that time as a page, I always said it, sometimes you're just a glorified babysitter in the sense.
Okay.
So there's a lot of studios that were being rented out. You had the Anderson Cooper Show, the Bethany Frankel Show, you had BET's 106 in Park.
Yeah.
You have David Letterman, who was down the street. So we essentially just were seating a lot of the audience members, making sure that they were utilizing the restroom during commercial breaks, things of that sort. And you just needed to really earn your keep as a page and just showcase that, look, I want to be here. And so then I landed.
Is it kind of like a PA? A little bit like production assistant kind of way?
Somewhat.
Okay.
It just depends on where you land. Some people did eventually get into PA positions.
Okay.
I landed in the press office.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So I remember my boss at the time, Doug Halo, he was like, are you sure you want to go to the press office? Like, the SVP up there, I don't know. I was like, yes, I do. I really do. I wanted to really get into PR and really just touch newspapers and read articles about the journalists within that building. So the opportunity presented itself, and I worked 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I was there for CBS This Morning and then CBS Evening News, running clips, sending clips to the president at the time of CBS News. It was, I always say I started my career there, and I'm so grateful for that because it was somewhat of organized chaos. You know, you're considered late when you're not where you need to be 10 minutes early.
Yeah, for sure.
So on the weekends I was sending news clips, but I was in my 20s, so I had a lot of energy.
Right. No, that's so real. That is so real.
I had a lot of energy.
You were ready.
Yeah. And then I made a lot of money.
Good.
I started making $9.50 an hour to actually making
Like a salary.
Yeah,
right?
a very decent amount of money to where I then eventually was able to move to New Jersey. And from there, New York City, I just kind of transitioned into PR, journalism to events marketing and things of that sort. And worked did a little bit of PR jobs, but really ended up in events where I just knew that was something that I loved because every day was not the same.
Right.
Like,
you just never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get. It's always crazy. You could do however many run-up shows. You can do whatever you want, but things happen, you know? So I actually loved it, the thrill of it. It was...
So what kind of events are we talking, like, when you say events?
It's like advertising and marketing, programmatic advertising, things of that sort. This is when, like, chatbots was coming into fruition. It was more so of how can we maximize our ads on Instagram with various clients and companies and things of that sort. It was a lot of C-list speakers that I would reach out to. I would also interview them, write their bios, do the run of show, upload their bios to the back end of the website. We utilized WordPress at the time. I don't know if people still use that.
I don't know. Maybe talk a blog, right?
Yeah. So
and this was all under CBS as well.
This is after I transitioned out of CBS and got into events.
I want to talk a little bit about the CBS thing because I love Survivor, which is on CBS, and also when you said president, was it Moonves? At the time, Les Moonves?
No. It was David Rhodes at the time. Lucas was like the CEO. Like, Lucas was like...
He's big.
He was big.
Yeah, he scares me though.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious about Bethany because, like, I'm a huge Housewives fan. So.
I have a funny... Oh my gosh. I have the funniest story about Bethany. So there was a rap party. And so she had her rap party. I don't know who she was dating at the time. It was some guy.
Okay.
And she did it at Greenhouse. Everybody knows New York City. Greenhouse was like... Back then, that was the club.
Okay.
So she rented out the entire club.
Oh.
So pages.
She does have money.
Yeah. So CBS pages weren't invited. So there was this rolling list. And I put my name on the list.
I mean, I would have too.
So I was like, hey, I work this show. I have a reason to be here.
Yeah.
So I put my name on the list. And I don't know how I got into this party. But I did, and so because obviously it was a live show, they gave out lots of gift cards. So she had $2,000 worth of gift cards.
Wow, for like just
a raffle drawing.
Oh, okay.
Guess who won the raffle drawing?
This was a rap party for her talk show.
Yes, this is the rap party for the Bethany Frankel show. Okay. Yes, so I was like, I'm not supposed to be here, but I'll take these $2,000 worth of. It was really good.
What was it, like Skinny Girl?
It was everything. Okay. It was like restaurants. It was different types of colognes, perfumes, different types of memberships. It was $2,000 worth of things that I didn't have, and I used every single last one of the gift cards.
Yeah, no, for sure. What was it like working? Did you get to actually work pretty closely with any of these people in the talk shows, like Bethany Frankel or Anderson Cooper, any of these folks? Or
we did. We interacted with them, but it wasn't more so, like I said, we weren't the PAs. We
Okay.
kind of worked for CBS.
Right.
I think with BET's 106 in Park, I worked very closely with the staff.
That's cool.
Was able to go to the BET Awards,
Cool.
hang out with the celebrities. I think Bow Wow had a party in LA, and he was the host at the time, so I was able to hang out with him and things of that sort. So it was. If you think about moving to New York City in your 20s with a dream and a goal, it was everything that I could have ever imagined.
That's awesome.
Plus more.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, I love that. So you did the CBS stuff for a while, and then eventually you transitioned to the events. Was that still taking place in New York and all that?
It was. Events was taking place in New York. That's initially where I began my career in events, traveling every single month. I mean, I've probably been to every single major city that you can think of, except for Phoenix.
Okay. So
I moved here sight unseen, shockingly. So I traveled a lot with that, and then I transitioned. I turned 30, and I think my parents was like, "Are you planning to come back home?"
Yeah.
Like,
are they still in Texas?
Yes. So they're in Houston, and 2018, I moved back home to Houston and received a position working at a private toll company where I created like a social media policy. It was like the most boring job ever.
Okay. It wasn't for you.
It was not for me at all. And then again, I landed a job in events and marketing and became an events director for a company called Villa Sport.
And where was this all taking place?
This was taking place in Katy, Texas.
In Texas, okay.
2018. So Villa Sport is more so like a very family-oriented Lifetime Fitness.
Okay.
So here I am. I had 80 events a year.
Wow.
If that, probably a little bit more with a certain budget. And like I said, I did the hiring, the firing of my staff, made sure that they were getting paid on time, held my weekly meetings with my staff. The general manager loved it. Then COVID happened.
Right. No, I know all about that because same. Like I had just moved to Nashville in like February 2020, and then a couple like weeks later, it was like everything shut down. And I was like, oh my god! And then I found Kenect Nashville, got hooked up with them, and that kind of allowed me to like have a little time to continue to make music and make content and stuff in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Because my whole thing with them was like just posting videos and singing and stuff like that. I was like, thank God.
You do an amazing job.
Thank you.
We love when he's our surprise guest and he hits us with some tunes.
Every now and then I'll strum a couple chords or whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, I understand that though, because like if it wasn't for Kenect Nashville, I would have just been in Nashville with nothing to do because everything shut down, you know what I mean? So totally get that. So you were in Texas during all of that?
2018 to 2024. 2020 I got released from my position, so everyone did.
Yeah.
I even got rid of HR at the time. And then my dad got diagnosed with cancer in May of 2020.
Jeez.
And then he passed away in October of 2020. So when you talk about COVID and you talk about not being able to be around your family, and then you're like stay 5 to 10 feet away from this person, and not being able to go to hospital visits because they're not allowing you, and they're not allowing a certain amount of people there, and then this is someone who essentially is Superman to us, so we don't know what cancer is. No, cancer has never hit us or anything like that. I just had a lot of time to advocate for him as a patient. I did my due diligence, my research. I was in touch with the doctors, their director, everything, and which kind of led me into the position that I'm in now as a case advocate for the Taxpayer Advocate Service. I am not a spokesperson for the IRS.
Disclaimer.
And kind of really fulfilling what he wanted. I remember very early on, me graduating college, like I said, I was in my 20s. He was like, you need to get a job in federal government. You need to go be a correctional officer. I was like, correctional officer? I was like, I'm not going to be a correctional officer, which is funny because my little sister actually did it in college. So it's actually quite hilarious that she actually ended up doing it as like a part-time gig. I was like, you want to be a correctional officer as part-time? I was like, oh, you're better than me.
Not me, yeah.
So I think in a way that I am kind of honoring his wishes by doing that and also helping. Like, we help taxpayers.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that was my medium.
Yeah.
That is where I was like, as much as I love events and marketing and the thrill of it, it is something that I'm sure I'll explore later on down the line once I actually get my feet wet here in Phoenix. Right now, it's a truly fulfilling position.
So that was you started doing what you're doing currently, being an advocate for the taxpayers. When was that?
2022, I started my career in the Internal Revenue Service.
Okay, and then you moved to Phoenix.
I moved to Phoenix. So basically, when you have zero federal experience, they start you off at a very low level. So here I am again, starting over.
Right.
Always starting over. Like, that is the story of my life. And I'm the type of person who, like, when my back is so against the wall, I'm so excited because that's when I become my best.
Mm-hmm.
So very early on, the position that I held with the Internal Revenue Service, I knew very early on that I wasn't going to be there long. I just needed 1 year of service.
Mm-hmm.
And to really start being able to move around. I always knew I wanted to be a case advocate.
Okay.
Stepped foot in the door, I was like, I'm going to leave and be a case advocate. So I was applying. Oh, let me backtrack.
Yeah, please.
I was in Dallas.
Okay.
So I left Houston. So I was in Houston from 2018 to 2022, and then I moved to Dallas in 2022 to 2024.
Okay, gotcha.
Here I am, moving around.
Right. I mean, I get it. I'm the same way.
I am never in one place for too long. It blows my mind when I talk about it and I say it aloud. But yes.
How do you feel about that? Like, let me just stop you really quick because I'm the same way. I'm always somewhere else.
Yeah.
Every other year. I've been here a couple years. I was in Nashville, LA, here, Kentucky, whatever. How do you feel about that as like someone, like, are you comfortable with that or do you kind of crave finding, I mean, it seems like you are comfortable with, like, you like that kind of moving around.
I do. I think my mantra and my whole thing when it comes to life and then just experiencing life as we know it, you have one life.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the ability to move and live in these beautiful big cities with an opportunity, why not?
Yeah.
Like, I personally don't have any kids.
Right. Either, so.
My biggest concern was getting my dog on the plane.
Right.
Like, that was it. Like, if that was, as long as she was okay, I was okay. I think that it truly builds a lot of character.
Yeah.
It really does. And then you meet people like Zach.
Thank you. No, that's real.
And you connect.
Right.
Hence being here and connect.
Right.
And you meet even in the little time that I've been here, I moved here in July, I have met so many amazing people. From Kenya over here that's walking by, Foray downstairs, Jamie with Zen Events.
Yeah.
I mean, it is truly an inspiring community.
Yeah, right. I agree. Okay, so you were in Dallas for a couple years.
Yeah, about a year and 8 months or so.
And then when did you decide, I'm going to go to Phoenix? Like, how did you end up here? Tell me a little bit
So
about
it was
that.
so funny. I put in an involuntary relocation request in December of 2023. I closed my eyes and I said, I'm just going to pick 3 cities.
Wow.
Austin, Phoenix, and Washington, D.C.
Whoa, that's so wild.
In May of 2024, I received an email from our LTA, Melissa, who was absolutely amazing. She said, hey, I want to interview you for this case advocate position, but it's in Phoenix. I said, let's go.
Wow.
So I think she interviewed me on a Tuesday. She said, I'll let you know by Friday. The next day, she was like, can you be here in July? I said, I absolutely can.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, see, that's the good thing about, being able to be flexible is like you get a job opportunity in Phoenix, Arizona, you're like, yep, I'll be there. And like if you had like kids or a house or a mortgage or whatever, then like it's a little bit harder to pick up and move everything at that point. Yeah, I always have this internal struggle with like really craving that kind of like stability, like maybe owning a house and like starting a family and stuff like that. And then there's also the other side of me that's like, listen, I'm rock and roll, baby. I'm here one day, I'm gone the next. You can't keep me down. You know what I mean? It's weird though, because I really struggle with it. I don't know why.
I think society makes us struggle with it.
Yeah.
I think we look at society as a whole, and then obviously social media has a big influence on when you become a certain age, you need to own a house. You need to have this. You need to have the White House with the picket fence and live this life. And I just feel like if those aren't the cards that are dealt out to you or for you, why force yourself to do that?
Yeah.
You know, your stability is being able to be flexible.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. No, thank you. I need to hear that. I'm like, tell me more. Okay, so you got to Phoenix and you ended up at Kenect Phoenix. So that's great. And so now you've just been here since, when did you say, like May or July? July. Wow, so still kind of fresh. I moved here in July too, so we kind of moved here around the same time. Yeah, it's a great place though. I'm loving Phoenix.
I'm loving Phoenix. I actually love Nashville. I'm still trying to get back to Nashville since 2017.
You need to go, maybe go to Kenect Nashville too.
I am.
They might be able to
Kenect Nashville.
Right?
Look at girl.
Right. It's a cool place. I love Kenect Nashville too. And Nashville is a very interesting city. For me, I was like, Nashville is such a party city, and I'm so a homebody. Like, I am very like reading in my bed at like 8 p.m. in my pajamas. And Nashville's like, let's go hard.
Let's go.
So it wasn't really my vibe. I mean, the music is great, but
oh my God, that's amazing.
It's a cool.
The honky tonks. Oh my gosh, I loved.
No, for sure, I totally get it. The food is so good too. So, okay, tell us a little bit about some. I just have some questions for you about like networking and relationships and stuff, because it seems like that's really played a huge part in your career. You know, what are some tips for building strong relationships with journalists or influencers or people that you've had to come in contact with in your jobs? Like, give me some advice for that, because not everybody's as outgoing as you and me, I guess. But.
I think as far as networking and whole and in general, learn people's names.
Yeah.
I think that once you establish a connection, like I remember you, like, and sometimes you just have to associate their name with something that's like you remember from your past, or I don't know, just it's certain things. I always say you need to learn everyone's name.
Yeah. From
the CEO to the maintenance workers.
Right.
And you treat everyone fairly. And I just believe like that's honestly one of my biggest things is you have to learn everyone's name, and you always just have to be friendly. Like because you never really know what people are going through at the time, you know, and don't walk around upset and with a resting face.
Right, no real.
I think that's what it is. I think that the advantage for me personally is I just have an outgoing personality. Yeah. It's very bubbly, it's very big, it's massive, sometimes a little too massive. Sometimes a little loud. But I think that's essentially what it is. And as long as you're a stand-up individual and an amazing person within yourself and within your heart and who you are every single day, the world and the energy and it just kind of draws to you.
It comes back to you.
It just comes back. Yeah. It feeds into you and it pours into you, and then you're able to continue your journey wherever that may be.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I will see you downstairs bringing the front desk workers like wings and trying the same thing sometimes. You know what I mean? So like, I love that because I do think it's important to just like, you know, and like community to me is really important. That's why I love Kenect, because like, it's true, like you said, like the people that work here and live here are like genuinely like really nice and like just good people. From the people that I've met that work here and live here, I don't have an issue with anybody. It's just like I just enjoy seeing the people that I see here. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to like building relationships in your work, that's important too. So here in Phoenix, do you go? What's your day-to-day look like? You know, as Christina here in Phoenix.
I mean, my day-to-day is obviously work. I mean, obviously working as a case advocate is my day-to-day as of right now. But honestly,
do you go to an office or do you do it all from?
Yeah, I go to the office. Okay. I go to the office every day. We do have options to telework sometimes, but the camaraderie in the office is amazing. But honestly, my day-to-day in Phoenix is exploring this beautiful city, especially now because it's 75 degrees in November and then December. I think that Phoenix is such an interesting city that you really don't have to travel far to, like, you could go to Flagstaff and go skiing right now. And then you'll go to Sedona. Like, we're planning to go to Sedona in December. I think that was like one of like my biggest things I want to scratch off my bucket list. And then being able to, you know, go to Glendale and go to Westgate and hang out there. I think
Scottsdale.
Yeah, Scottsdale. Like it's really just exploring and getting to know this city and just kind of fall in love with the city that, like I said, I moved here sight unseen, and never in a million years would I ever imagined living in Phoenix.
Right, me either, but I like it a lot. And the food is really good too.
The food is actually really good.
So good. I'm just like, everything I've tried around here, I'm just like, that was fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Really good.
It's so good. And I'll take the scooters, the Lime scooters, because I don't have my car here right now. It's in Kentucky. But I'll just take the scooters around, or the Waymos or whatever. It's been really fun. I really like it. Well, that's interesting. How do you? I ask all my guests on this podcast about it, because literally everybody that's been on this podcast is like a hustler, a go-getter, like constantly just getting what's theirs. You know what I'm saying? And with that, it can become, for me, it can become really stressful, and I can get burnt out really easily. Just kind of constantly going hard. How do you balance finding that inner peace? Like, what do you do at the end of the day to kind of unplug, unwind, and then like regain that energy to go tomorrow and do it all over again?
I think gratitude. I think I wake up with gratitude and I go to bed with gratitude. I think that you are going to get burnt out. We are human beings. We are going to struggle with different things in life. I think just when you set certain goals for yourself and you are achieving it, it may not be at the pace that you set in your mind or what you wrote down on your notepad and your phone. It's just being able to know that you are here and you're here for a reason. And like I said, I think gratitude is the biggest thing for me. Like, you don't meet a lot of people who just are able to just get up and move and do the things that you want to do. And like, I've always said, like, I've done so much in my 37 years of life that sometimes I'm always kicking myself to be like, I need to do more. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing this. I'm not doing that. And I need to get back into this. And I need to start doing this. And sometimes I have to lay with gratitude and be like, girl, you've done a lot.
Yeah.
You
traveled
need to
the world.
chill.
You've done
You have to really chill.
Right.
Out.
So what do you do? So is this like you're laying in bed and you're like kind of maybe like praying or just reflecting,
praying,
manifesting,
manifesting, closing my eyes and just
turning your phone off for like 30 minutes?
Like I'm telling you, as soon as I get home, like my phone is, I don't even know where it's at.
Right.
And I think that, and also I think social media plays a lot into like people's mind wandering. Like I'm guilty of being scrolling through TikTok, but it's mindlessly.
Yeah.
But that's really what it is. And sometimes I have to really check myself.
Yeah.
Like when I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm getting burnt out, I literally will tell my partner, I'm rotting in bed today.
Right.
I'm not moving a muscle. Like, I'm not moving. We're door dashing.
Right.
My dog is going to rot in bed with me because she absolutely loves it. And we're just going to do absolutely nothing.
Just
and
watch movies or something.
Watch movies, whatever.
Yeah.
And just rot in bed. And I'm telling you, people feel guilty about it. I do not.
Hey, I'm the same exact way. Like, that's so true. Like, that's what I was going to say. Is like, for me, it's like, I have to sometimes, because I'm always on the go. I'm doing this and that all the time. And then, like, some days I will feel like I need to just have a bed rot day or whatever.
Yes.
Just lay, watch movies. Yeah, just relax. And one day, that's okay. That's fine. Like, don't feel so guilty that you're like, because sometimes I will feel guilty. I'm like, I gotta go do something, but
no,
you don't have to.
Once you get to the point where you don't feel guilty about it, you'll be fine.
You gotta recharge.
You have to. That's the only way. If your body and your brain is on 1,000 and you can't keep up with it, you just need to just have a rotten bed day.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. What would you say the future of Christina looks like? Do you have big dreams and goals as you always have, like, or is it like? Yeah, I'm just curious. What are you thinking for the next maybe 10 years, 15 years?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to get back into events.
Okay.
I think that's something that I would definitely like to explore. I think my short-term goal right now is really focusing on my career as a case advocate because I fought so hard to be in the position that I'm in now.
Yeah.
It's so rare someone not having any federal experience and landing this opportunity.
Yeah.
People work 10 years to get this position or even interview for this position.
Wow.
So I think I want to just enjoy really mastering the art of becoming a case advocate and helping people. But I think that events is something that I will like to explore. I mean, I've had my own events company before.
Right.
You know, I have $10,000 worth of decor in my mother's garage.
Help me.
Like, so, you know, I think it is something that I will eventually, like, I mean, I obviously do want to have my own business eventually again. Right now, no. Because right now, like I said, I'm adapting to this new environment, this new space that I'm in, and I'm living it. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, definitely that. I don't know, maybe marriage, maybe a child. But I think also with that, I always said I wanted to be in a position where I'm very present for my family.
Yeah.
I'm not missing soccer games, ballet recitals, things of that sort, because I've always been on the go. So right now is mastering the art of, like I said, just living in the moment right now.
Yeah.
And like, I'm also that person who, my goals are set so short term. Like, I want to be a case advocate. Okay, I'm gonna be a case advocate. Less than 2 years, I'm a case advocate. Okay, what's next?
Right.
What do I want to do next? I don't know. I might wake up tomorrow and decide I want to be a mermaid. I don't know. Like, that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
And it just so happens everything always works out.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. That's just how it is for people like you and me. It's like tomorrow I might decide I want to go do this, and then guess what? I'm gonna make it happen.
Exactly.
Because that's just how it is. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. If you have like a website or any kind of social media or something that you want to shout out, feel free to go ahead and do
I just
that.
have Instagram that I'm not very big on. It's just at Miss Nina Moore. So yeah, that's really it. I'm just kind of
just out here doing
just
your thing.
chilling.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this new chapter, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity, being here with you and being in this space.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
All these
place.
lovely people.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, opportunities knocking at the door. You never know who you're going to meet
It's always
here.
knocking. They've been knocking.
Right.
They've been
And
knocking.
I'll answer it. Let's see what's behind door number 1. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Christina, for doing the podcast. Everybody, be sure to go check out Christina on Instagram. Be sure to go check out Kenect Phoenix, Kenect Nashville. I'm always online at YouKnowZach or YouKnowZach.com. From all of us here at Kenect, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.